Right, hello everyone, Luke Smith here. Today we're going to do another file reading. This is going to be of Resident Evil 7 files. This is just going to be the main story. Resident Evil 7 was released in 2017. It's like, was it almost 5 odd years since Resident Evil 6? Now this was like a kind of like a soft reboot to the series, going back to its survival horror roots, and it was a good decision because this game was great. I mean, mixed reviews, I suppose, like some people not keen on it, but I like it. It's not my personal favourite, but I do like the direction that it's went in again. So it stars Ethan Winters. His wife supposedly died a few years ago. He gets a message from her, thinking that she's still alive somehow. He goes to Louisiana and wants to find the truth, and it all goes haywire from there. So let's read. Email from Mia. From Mia Winters, says his wife. Sent 18th of July 2017, 4:11 p.m. on a Tuesday to Ethan Winters, Delvey, Louisiana. Baker Farm, come get me. So that's basically the email that he got, and I think he got a video tape message as well. So yeah, list of names front: Ben dead, Harold turned, Arthur turned, Tamra turned, Craig dead, Leah dead, Sean dead, William dead. There's a lot of dead people in here. Travis turned, Peter dead, Andre dead, and Clancy L living. Again, these are a little bit out of order, so yeah, you don't get this letter until like the videotape sections. Mia, don't know. Heidi turned, Clyde dead, Lindsay turned, Stephen turned, Nathaniel dead, Edward dead, Nadine dead, Alex dead. Again, there's a lot of dead people. Tom dead, Reed turned, Susan turned, Joseph dead, and David dead. Oh yeah, I forgot, it tells you where they are. Okay, this is in the guards area of the guest house B1 on the workbench, and again on the workbench. Again, you can turn files over because there might be messages on the back, so it gives you the option to turn a file over. Also, where was this one? I think this is already in your inventory. Yeah, already in there. Home improvement store receipt. Nico's Hardware, Saw, $24.99. 1. Rope, $34.79, and he had 4 of them, so it's $140. Pet collar, $19.99, and 20 of them. That's the thing, is like, I think because there were 20 subjects, so 20 collars. Really kinky. Subtotal, tax total almost $600. That's in the dining room of the main house, on the wooden cabinet next to the kitchen bench. Newspaper article, missing people. 3 missing during Urbex trip. Yeah, you got to be careful when you're doing Urbex stuff, you know. State authorities are asking for help locating 3 men who went missing during their travels to Delvey Parish from New Orleans on the 9th of this month. The 3 men has been identified as Peter Walken, Andre Stickland, that's a fucking good name to have, and Clancy Jarvis. The three produced videos for the internet and travelled to the Delvey to shoot footage for their latest production. Their videos consist of mostly the group exploring abandoned buildings and haunted houses. To be fair, like, I'm fascinated with Urbex. I always watch a lot of videos on like Urbex stuff. I'm subscribed to some of them, like Secret Vault which is like the main one I watch, as well as like some others as well, like Exploring with Ray and Vacant Haven. They're really good people. It's like really good to watch as well. Living room, main house, on the coffee table. New newspaper article, over 20 missing. Again, it's them people again. Over 20 missing in 2 years. Captain Howell from State Police told reporters that they have started a search for Helen McKeith, a college student from North Carolina who was travelling in Louisiana. Midkiff, okay. Hasn't been heard since the night of the 21st. Reports of missing persons in South Louisiana have increased dramatically in the past 2 years. The majority of those missing are tourists and vagrants. At least 20 people are thought to have gone missing so far. Police suspect foul play and believe that there may be a connection between the incidents. Plans are in place to set up local interrogations and increase personnel to further the investigations. Alyssa Ashcroft, 19th of January 2016. So she was still a journalist. I mean, like, she's been a journalist since Raccoon City, like, at least 1998. And, like, over 20 years later, or almost 20 years later, she still is a journalist. She must be a good one to keep with them that long. Main hall of the house, on the coffee table. There's a lot of files in the main hall of the house, by the way. Jack's journal. 2nd of October. Reports say a storm is coming. I've had a lot of trouble cleaning up after the last one a few years back. Maybe it's time to reinforce the windows and shore up the roof. Maybe I'll get Lucas to help. Well, to be fair, that should have been done straight away. October 9th. The water's finally receded. The house is alright, but the old house is badly damaged. Lucas is making a fuss about a huge ship washed up in the bayou. If that's true, I better report it to the parish. I'll check it out tomorrow. That's the thing, because like, they got this massive like mansion house manor sort of thing, and like a guest house as well. These people must have been loaded before they turned. Recreation room of the main house, 2nd floor, inside the drawer of the cabinet. Jack's memo. Marguerite, move that piece of shit hippie record from the hall to the processing area. That's in the recreation room of the main house, on the semicircular table. That's the thing, is like, he obviously has turned by now, and he still knows, because like, they still have personalities, and they still have like knowledge of the real world, so they can like blend in and shit. So yeah, it's actually quite scary, because this is like the mold controlling them, thanks to Evelyn. Travis's memo, front. Dear Courtney, those bastards are looking for me, but maybe this gives you a chance to escape. To escape, you have to find a release shaped like dog heads. I saw one of the heads in the dissection room underground. Go get it. It's the key out of here. That's in the study of the main house, inside the chest of drawers. Travis memo back. Something is wrong with me. It must have been that shit they made me eat. If I'm gonna die, at least I'll go out fighting. I'm going to get hold of that shotgun I saw in the rec room and make them regret what they did to me. You need to get out of here. I love you, Courtney. Love, Travis. That's in the study. Obviously that's on the back, so you just flip it over. Incinerator room memo. Lucas, I caught the guy who keeps trying to escape. I've locked him up in the leftmost incinerator, so he can't get away again. Take him out when he's ready. You know how to open the door, don't you? Just remember, 3 A's and a handprint. Do what you want with this girl. So in other words, it looks like Travis was fucked. Incinerator room processing area on the wall above the sink. Memo about the relief. I tried chasing all of these shitheads around the yard. The next time one of your guests runs away, hide the dog heads so they can't get out of the house. Let's hide them like this. Living room, grandfather clock. The book in the recreation room. There's a section room in the basement. So that's the locations where you find these reliefs. But with the clock, you need to I think you need to get a something to use on it and set the time, and it will just drop down. And that was in Grandma's room on the second floor of the main house, on the desk to the right of the door. There it is. Doctor's letter. Dear Mrs. Baker, how have you been feeling lately? It's been a long time since you came in for your last checkup. I'm writing to tell you that I've finished examining your x-rays. Those dark areas in your cranium are like fungus-like structures that seem to be related to mould. The hallucinations and music you said that, and noises you said you may be hearing may be related to these growths. If your symptoms are due to a fungal parasite, it must be removed before it's too late. I don't mean to scare you, but I'm seriously concerned for your health. Please come to the hospital as soon as you read this letter. As your doctor, I strongly recommend that you undergo further tests. Crawford Lang, Delvey General Hospital. So, when they was infected, or Marguerite at least, because she was the one that was, I believe, infected first. Actually no, it was Lucas that was infected first, but he was working for this other company, so he got cured with it straight away. But when Marguerite first started feeling funnier with it, she obviously went to the hospital to get checked out. So like I said, some intelligence is still there. That was in Grandma's room again, inside the small desk drawer to the left of the door. Zoe's investigation notes. My body is feeling weirder and weirder. Soon I'll become like Mum and Dad. It's all her fault. Should I run? No, I can't. I'm dead if she finds out. That woman, she was with Mia. She knows something. If I had the serum, I could cure myself. I have to find more. That's in the trailer, and that's like your central hub. Like once you get out the door using them reliefs, the trailer is like your main safety zone. And that was in the pin-up board on the fridge. Marguerite's warning. Zoe, you tried to sneak up to the second floor again, didn't you? Did you think I wouldn't notice? Even after what happened to Evelyn, you just keep talking about some strange medicine. And what are you planning to do with my altar? You better keep those sticky fingers of yours off of it. Nobody touches my sacred altar. You think your father and I are idiots? You spoiled, pathetic child. I wish you never was born. Unforgivably pathetic, yet always looking down on us, and trying to leave your home after everything we done for you. Pathetic. And if you ever touch my altar, I'll slice off your chest and serve it up as post haste. Yeah, Marguerite's definitely turned. She would never talk to Zoe normally like that. Dilapidated room in the old house. That's things like they own another house. They own like several houses on the plantation. It's like, how much money did they have? I mean, I'm pretty sure they inherited it though. Serum documentation. Regarding the series serum, the following items be able to synthesize serum. 1. D series cranial nerve, and that's the head. D series peripheral nerve, and that's the arm. And that's on the altar of that old house. So yeah, obviously that's where the one of the ingredients are. So that's why Marguerite didn't want Zoe to get to it. Marguerite's notebook. October 11th. My ears has been ringing all day and I haven't been able to sleep since that child showed up. It's like Zoe says, there's something strange about the child and the woman she had brought with her. October 15th. I am seeing things, hearing things. I can't stop feeling nauseous. I went to the doctor in town and he gave me an x-ray. What is happening to me? October 23rd. The child gave me a present. October something. I put the present in the secret room right at the back of the second floor where nobody would find it. That arm is a sign of the child's trust. The arm would lead us to happiness. And if anyone who corrupts that happiness, I will not allow them to live. Yeah, so that's in the back of the old house thing. That's like the last ingredient you need. Well, one of the ingredients anyway, and that's in the piano room of the old house. Memo on deputy's head. The pig is waiting for you in the dissection room now, bitch. That's in the trailer, and that's after you defeat Marguerite, and that's when you get the key when you search his body. Yeah, after acquiring the D-Series arm. So you go back to the trailer, because the only reason to go in the in the old house is to defeat Marguerite and get the D-Series arm and to basically get out. So yeah, that's how you continue. Where am I now? Lucas's journal. April something. Mummy took me to the hospital in town. They took a photo of my head with a weird machine. Then Mummy bought me a 259-piece puzzle from the toy store. April something. Stupid Oliver keeps teasing me. You're a crazy head. April something. I lied to Oliver. I told him that he could come over for my birthday party, and then shut him in the attic from the outside with a remote control. He kept crying, "Let me out, Lucas." April something. I changed the remote control so stupid Zoe can't get in, can't go into the attic. I melded it with one of my inventors contest trophies. Now she'll never find it. That's the thing. Like, in order to get in there, that's in Zoe's campaign, the end of Zoe. You can get in there by getting like a special button and using in the lamp, and you can go up there and using Lucas's password on his phone. You can access this on the computer. Yeah, kids' room of the main house on the table on the east side of the room. Well, it's not this, it's another one, but you'll read it in the end of Zoe letter. Torn page from journal. April something. Oliver stopped his yelling, but sometimes I hear him knocking from above. May something. It really stinks, and some weird juice is dripping from the ceiling. Anyway, since I had time, I changed the remote control trophy again. Now it'll be shiny every night, so that's indicating that it's the lamp. Kids' room on the right dresser in the northeast side of the room. There is clock memo. The same time as all the other clocks, so that's basically how you get the thing down, and that's in the master bedroom of the main house, pinned to the globe. Memo on burnt corpse. You're next. Rest area, testing area, 2F, pinned to the dead body sitting in the chair. Jim's letter. Dear Janet, how's it going? I guess half a year or so will have passed by the time you get this letter. Life is boring here, day after day. It's the same old sea. Although is one thing that is different. This time we have some passengers sailing with us, which hardly ever happens. It's a couple with a little girl. Oh, I think they are distant relatives of the captain. Imagine travelling on a tanker instead of a passenger ship. It must be hard up. I tried talking to the little girl earlier, and her dad shot me with his nasty look. Why is he so worried about? Now to think of it, the captain said that he didn't have any relatives. Maybe I'm overthinking this. I miss you, love, Jim. That is in the bunk room of the wrecked ship. Oh god, this is really far advanced in this bit. Like I said, these are not in order at all. Giovanni's will. It is too late for us, but at least I can let the world know what happened here. I was on night shift yesterday, so I was taking a nap in the bunk room around noon. I was half asleep when I heard a little girl laughing, or was that in my head? I woke up at 7:30 p.m. There was some sort of ruckus in the passageway. Drew, one of the engineers, came in and said there was something going on down below, maybe a riot. He looked pale in the face. He told me he was going down to check it out, but he never came back. It must have been around 7:50 p.m. when I heard the scream. I went into the laundry room to check, and I saw Clark being eaten by some sort of blackish monster. The monster turned and started coming towards me, huge shark-like teeth snapping in its claw. I just screamed like a little girl and ran for it. Now I'm huddled up in the bunk room, shaking as I write this. There's a whole host of those creatures lurking in the passageways now. I can still hear the screams now and then, but there's no way I'm going out there now. And that is it. I've written everything that I know. Giovanni Finetti. That is in the storage room of the wrecked ship. Talking about the moulded zombies. Well, not really zombies, like moulded creatures, but they are like the victims that got kidnapped by the Baker residents. Orders. Special Operations Division. Director Alan Dioni and caretaker Mia Winters. So Mia was a caretaker. Okay. Recent reports suggest that if Evelyn remains in her current location, she is at high risk of being stolen by opposing organisations. Your orders, therefore, are to transfer Evelyn's to our Central American branch for safekeeping until further notice. During transfer, be sure to adhere to the following protocols. Act as a parental guardian for Evelyn at all times to avoid suspicion. Manage Evelyn's vitals via the genome codex provided. That's the wristwatch that you get. If the mission is compromised beyond recognition, dispose of Evelyn. That's things like Evelyn. Yeah, she's a little girl, but she was created like another manufacturer thing. Guest room of the ship, and again you can get it in the wrecked ship part as well. Where we are. Mechanics memo. Lewis. The cable is completely fried. We had a replacement, but we had to use it to fix something in the F36 sick bay. You're going to have to ask Dr. Waddle for it. I'm needed down at the number 2 engine room, but I can't get down there unless we get this thing working. Drain. That's in the elevator of the wrecked ship, so that's how you get one of the items. You need 2 items to fix the elevator. Tattered secret document. E-Next toxin. Destroy any subject. Some E's bio del. Use only sale of assets. T must first be stored before. Do this by placing a sample in the Nexon container. That's in the elevator corridor of the wrecked ship, the 3rd floor. That was already on. Yep, that's fine. E-necrotoxin. Destroy cells of any subjects based on the E-series bioweapon model. Only used for disposal of E-series assets. The toxin must be first stimulated before use. Do this by placing a sample of the E-series cells into the necrotoxin container. That is in the storage space of the salt mine B3. That's another area after the dilapidated cruise ship or cargo ship thing. Infection report. I think this is the longest file we've got here now. This report details the symptoms that appear when the bacterium that grows inside the E-series infects a human. Be sure to read this document thoroughly before dealing with the E-series bioweapons assets, hereafter referred to as mold. So yeah, this is basically when they say mold. Initial infection. The mold ingests nutrients from the subject's bodies to propagate itself, and slowly takes over the cells within the body. As a side effect to this, the infected subject gains remarkable regenerative abilities. So in other words, it liquefies the host body and like uses the DNA from the host to basically form a humanoid shape. And like when you shoot at it, it can regenerate, so you have to like shoot it enough times to kill it. These things are like bullet sponges, but not as bad as the ooze from Revelations. At least these are dealable. Doing experiments, we removed arms and legs from test subjects and found out that they are able to corrupt the amputated limbs in a matter of minutes. Mid-stage infection. Once the mold reaches the brain, the subject's thoughts become in tune with those of the E-series asset. The subject starts to hear things and experience hallucinations, and soon comes under complete control of the E-series asset. If the state continues, the host will lose all signs of ego. Complete infection. After every cell of the body has been taken over by the mold, the subject begins to lose their human form. Physical mutations differ from case to case, but will result in him or her acquiring incredible physical strength. Containing the subject at this stage would be extremely difficult. Storage space of the salt mine B3 on the shelves opposite the north door. Email log. Sent. Friday, January 16th, 2015, 12:42 AM. Thanks to you guys, it's been about a week since my head was clear and back to normal. And she still thinks that she's got me. You guys really need help fixing that. Not only does she look like a little kid, but she's about as stupid as one too. Mum and Dad are totally under her though. I was wondering, is this whole family obsession something you guys programmed into her? It's kind of fucked up. So even this is Lucas, by the way. Even he understands that it's a bit messed up what she's doing. Friday, November 4th, 2015. That was a while. It was like 11 months. 2:10 AM. That bitch Mia is still somehow in between Evie La La Land and reality. She gets pretty violent, and so I locked her up in a cell. I thought maybe Evelyn would get mad since Mia's her favourite and all, but she doesn't seem to care. She actually goes and visits her sometimes, but she thinks Mia is her mummy. Like I said, your bioweapon is fucked up. Friday, September 1st, 2016, so almost a year later, 1:10 AM. Evelyn's family obsession is getting out of hand. She's making everyone kidnap more and more assholes off the street to add to her little freak show of a family. Maybe she's just getting tired of Mia and not coming around. But it's a pain in the ass for me because I've got to clean up that mess whenever someone new comes along. By the way, Evie is looking sick or something. Her skin seems to be getting all wrinkly and she's getting greyer hairs. Is that supposed to happen? It's almost like she's getting old all of a sudden. That's things like the old woman that's in the house that you come across now and again in the wheelchair. That's the real Evelyn, but it's like a failed experiment. So like Evelyn, like you see the little girl, is a illusion, but because Ethan and Mia is both infected with the mold, so they're basically seeing child Evelyn as like a hallucination. So yeah, the real Evelyn is that old woman. Like she's basically dying. That was in the cultivation room of the salt mine on the computer on the workbench. A&D report 1 of 2. Oh my god, long. These are going to be the 2 longer ones. This project was investigated in 2000 as one of several concepts for the company's Nexus, Next Generation Experiments Battlefield Super Priority Initiative, working with technical assistance from HCF to develop a bioweapon for neutralizing combatants in masses with minimal direct contact. The Nexus was later foiled and all of its assets diverted to this project. God, investigated in 2000. How long has it been going for? What makes this project remarkably different from conventional weapons is its ability to turn enemy combatants into allies, converting hostile elements into willing servants. Since this effectively eliminates the cost of not only POW handling but also combat itself, it is no wonder why we had the something and even something's organisations chomping at the bit to get on board. The project would never have existed before if not for the discovery in something of something, and remarkably progressed recurrent evolution fungus that we commonly term for Mutamycete. So yeah, that's like the first recollection of Mutamycete, because that's known a lot in the next game we're going to be talking about next week. The fabrication method for each bioweapon was to introduce the Mutamycete genome to a pre-stage 4 human embryo and perform cultivation in a controlled environment over a period of 38 to 40 weeks. Is that a yeah, that's the 9-month pregnancy period, isn't it? I think so. The resultant organisms are referred to as candidate specimens and graded based on usability, from the impartial and faulty series A through D to the perfected E series. A common appearance was selected for the bioweapons, that of a roughly 10-year-old girl, to ensure ease of blending in with urban/refugee populations. The first E-series specimen, named Evelyn, has proven capable of secreting the Mutamycete, something from her tissue at will. It is also of note that Evelyn's Mutamycete imposes a profound control over body and mind when introduced into a host organism. We still have a lot to learn about the mechanism of which Evelyn achieves and maintains this control, but the working theory is that the vector is similar to the auto-inducer pheromones used for Crom sensing something bacteria, pseudonyms. Evelyn's control is exerted into a series of discrete changes, the first of which is a hallucination. Almost immediately after infection, the subject begins to see images of Evelyn though the fact that she is not there, and hear her voice, which is inaudible to anyone else. That is why Ethan and Mia can see and hear her, but no one can't. Additions with infected subjects throughout the stages of infection reveal that at first the phantom Evelyn appears to be a normal young girl, sometimes desiring companionship or assistance. As time progresses, she begins making more and more extreme demands, including self-mutilation and attacks on other people. The psychological shock this induces helps break down the mind's natural barriers to Evelyn's brainwashing effect, and by the time mental control is achieved, the Mucormycete infection has progressed through the body's cells, so the body mutates, I'm guessing. And that's in the storage of the salt mines, again B3, on the workbench. An R&D report 2 of 2. Another long file. Evelyn's functions also include the ability to form organisms from the mycelia, the fungal filaments. The term organism is used loosely here. Strictly speaking, there are superorganisms formed of countless mycelia. What's important, though, is that they exhibit a strong survival instinct and will defend themselves ferociously with the slightest provocation. The fungus' toughness and remarkable strength gives them significant battlefield potential. The researchers has been calling these superorganisms the moulded, made of mould, and also moulded as in shaped. The name has a certain elegance to it. Yeah, that means two things, to be fair. Made of mould and moulded into a certain shape. Yeah, that makes sense. That's why they can be like humanoid, they can be like dog shaped, all sorts. From the treatment of accidental infections, performing something on samples of Evelyn's body tissue produces a unique fungoidal serum. Administering the serum to an infected subject will cause the micella to calcify, but if the subject's cells are already largely invaded, the serum will be fatal. Since the treatment window is so small, the serum's primary use is therefore disposal of infected subject rather than a cure. In exploring the serum's potential, we found that subjecting it to something would enhance its effects to extreme potency, becoming a compound we now call E-nexotoxin, which something in even tiny amounts. What has been interesting to observe in Evelyn's behaviour is her obsession with the concept of family. In experiments, we found multiple occasions that infected subjects were compelled to act as her mother or father, treating her as if she was their own daughter. So it looks like they didn't program it into a kind of like a trait. Why did she settle upon a family as a theme for her mental control? This is a speculation, but it could be that she's instinctively understand that a family unit is better suited to blending into a social group than a lone girl. On the other hand, well, a sentimental sort might suggest that she's making up for a perceived lack of love in her quarantined upbringing, a parent's love. Possibly true. And that's in the salt mine storage unit on another desk. That's basically the room that you find most of the lore files, like all the big lore like this. So yeah, that was it for Resident Evil 7 Biohazard Files. Where am I going? Here we go. There are two new ones. Well, not new ones, but the Not a Hero DLC and End of Zoe DLC do have their own files as well. Obviously, it's not going to be like longer files than this one because they're just like short DLCs, but we'll obviously still be covering them. So tomorrow we're going to be doing the Not a Hero DLC files, and on Sunday we will do, well, Sunday afternoon I'll put up a video of End of Zoe files, and then that'll be the entire Resident Evil 7 storyline completed in the files. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tomorrow, yeah, like I said, I've already said about tomorrow, so see you guys next time.